So yeah, we got receipts, and welcome back to part two, chapter two of Killing AIDS, my manuscript, what I've gone through and what I felt and what I've known, honey. And I got receipts on also on the fact that I had worked for a major Fortune 500 company, AT&T. And like I said, AT&T is the best company to work for. It just happened that I worked there in the 1980s, and the majority of the population and the people that lived in that area that would be hired for the job were mostly Southern, a lot of Confederates, a lot of racists, a lot of Bible thumpers, small horse town, one horse town, the kind of people that not the same people you would have in a big city where if somebody said they were gay, they'd be like, so what, and go on with your life. No, this wasn't what happened to me. It was like everybody wanted to be in my life. It was just horrible. It was completely horrible. Anyway, I have one receipt here for the complaint that I made with the EEOC. Like I said before, I had filed with the union prior to all this downsizing business and all this. And they just let that go moot. They never got back to me, and I figured they're not going to do anything for me because at that time you can get fired at the workplace for being gay. The only recourse I had was that there was also very racist in there too. So yeah, not along with all the very homophobic and horrific comments that I heard on a day-to-day and right in front of managers, there was a Hispanic thing. They would say things like, these people need to learn how to speak English. This is America. Why don't they go back to their own country? Everything that you, just listen to any MAGA right now and stuff. Yeah, they're all criminals. We're all drug dealers. All the women are whores. It's just, and they're rapists, and that's the whole thing. That's never changed. That's good. But those were the kind that you can get in trouble for because that falls under the civil rights, and it was just they didn't do anything. They would sit there and say all these very racist things along with the homophobic things, and y'all just have no idea. So I finally had it. They decided they were going to downsize. This is what happened. This is what triggered the lawsuit. They decided to downsize. We're technologically displaced. I was explaining before about AI. Everything became automated for the operators, and you no longer got an operator. You got an automated system. You can push buttons. So we were left without a job. Everybody needed to figure out what they were going to do for their future. And at that point, I had decided, you know what, I'm going to go to massage therapy school and get out of the whole corporate thing and just do something holistic, something that I feel my left brain is more better at. So there I was. I decided to start massage therapy school, and the company gave you an option if you wanted to stay within the company. They would have moved you, paid for the moving costs and everything involved in that. But I didn't want to stay with the company because the same managers that was at the West Palm Beach office went to Miami, and that would have been the only office I would have if I would have continued to go to Miami office. And I'm like, hell no. It's like, it's bad enough. I know they wouldn't do the Hispanic thing, but I just was tired of it. I was tired. I was tired of the corporate thing, and I said, I'll take my chances. And I applied to get help to go through massage therapy school, and they paid for that too. Like I said, it was a wonderful company to work for. And I went ahead and our last day to work was like in 85. But of course, prior to that, as soon as they knew that we were all making plans, and there was a lot of people out there that didn't know what to do. There was a lot of people asking me questions. What are you going to do? How are you so calm? I was like, because leaving this place is the best thing that would ever happen to me. I don't care what I have to do. You know what I mean? It's like, if I'm going to go, I got to go. I already had, the universe had lined up. I was being led into holistic. I was being led into natural healing. So, which is something that my mother also had a gift for. So anyway, I was glad to leave, and people were coming to me the last days. I was like, for me, just, do what you want to do. Apply here if you want to go to school. Apply there if you want to move. And it was really weird how it all started coming on at the end. And these people really, some of them were just going with the flow, and The thing was, the company, for some reason, something got out where, of course, this had nothing to do with the company. It may have been, I don't know what happened, but they had what they developed some kind of hit list. Okay, so from what I heard, from what the story goes, and this is just also conspiracy theory, whatever. But what I heard, they were trying to fire people so that they wouldn't have to pay all the severance pay, all the benefits, and all the stuff like that. But that's totally crazy talk, and it's just something that I heard. It wasn't proven true or anything like that. Nobody ever had a real list or whatever. Um, but it was funny that there were certain people that did work there that were treated differently. People like uh, people of different religions and different colors, and other people that were, let's say, not African American but black and spoke a different language and stuff like that, were being singled out. For some reason, were being called into the office uh, and having warnings written out for them. It could have been any discrepancy, something that they've probably been doing and letting them do for the longest time, and all of a sudden it's a problem now. So you can get fired for it before you before you get laid off, and get all those benefits. So that's just a rumor that happened. I don't know what happened, but for some reason, whoever came up with whatever imaginary idea of firing people so they would lose all their benefits, I guess I was number one on that post-it sticker because they came right for my ass. I was pulled out. As soon as I started smiling about getting out of there, I got pulled out of work talking about my bathroom time was excessive. I was going to the bathroom too much. And there was too many bathroom breaks. And like I had been saying before, after this happened with my friend, and I decided I was going to get in shape, and it led me into massage therapy more. And I've always been a bodybuilder, but at this point I was really getting into it. And you know, my whole mindset had changed. And in the process, I was drinking a lot of water. I was drinking like a gallon of water a day to help me lose weight and get in shape and, you know, do what you got to do and rehydrate that skin and whatever it is. And so, yeah, I was going to the bathroom a few times more. But then again, my work performance was so faster than the average. So I didn't see where that would be a problem. My work performance, even going to the bathroom, didn't take a dive or anything like that. So anyway, not like Tesla is. But anyway, it didn't take a dive, and it shouldn't have made a difference. It was something very basic. But I kept getting pulled out by the same manager, you know. And I was getting sick and tired of it. And I said, what? I already told you that I'm drinking a lot of water and I lost the weight. And then in one of these instances, she said to me, yeah, you look good. And I was like, whatever. And she said, no, you look really good. I was like, it freaked me out. It really freaked me out. This is a Bible thumper telling me I look good, and then said it twice, and then looked at me. I was like, I said, are you done? Because I'm done. She said, yeah, you're done. Okay. So I don't know what happened. And then we were putting out decorations for some reason. They were putting out decorations, and she made me come in a third time and said, okay, I want you to come into the office while I was putting up decorations. And I was like, oh God, now what? So she said, I want you to sign this because your bathroom time is excessive and this and that. And I said, no, I'm not signing anything. I want a union rep. And so she looked at me real like mad. Like, you want a union rep? I said, yeah, I want a union rep. I'm going to sign this under duress. She was like, well, get them yourself. And I was like, okay. So I called a rep in, and he was there, and I said, I'm signing this under duress because I don't see why I'm being picked on right now. Well, push come to shove, and like I said, we were still putting decorations up, and this particular manager with another Bible thumper manager went in there when my friends were going off on their breaks. I was there alone putting up decorations, and I felt both of them walking in behind me. And one of them put a plastic bag over my head, and I couldn't breathe. And at first I thought it was one of my friends playing with me, but then I heard both of them laughing. And it was the two managers that put a plastic bag over my head. So after that incident and having to have called a union rep to come in because they were making me sign stuff to try to fire me, that's when I decided to file with the EEOC. I've had enough. I said, okay, maybe this is why I had to eat the meat to get to the bone, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it, but I knew that at the end of the day, all that I had gone through was not fair, and I may accept the gift and go through it because someday in the future somebody might be stuck in a situation like that and they have no rights, and you're the only one that can do something about this. So I just, at that point, like I said, it wasn't about me being a poster child for gay rights. I just wanted to live my life, be left alone, be happy, love whoever I wanted to, eat whatever. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted to be happy and love and be loved. But people kept pushing the issue, so I guess I got to play ball, right? So here I have my receipt. I'm just going to, I don't know how much, it's a EEOC document. Has a document number. And it says the date of discrimination took place. I filed twice, actually. Once when they kept writing me up, and another time when they put the bag over my head. And here I have on 4/10/1994 was the one incident. And on 10/28/1994 was the other incident. You can see the receipt right here. It's kind of, is that backwards to you? Anyway, it looks backwards to me. But anyway, let me see if I can fix that. Hold on a second.